Hi Twin Flames, this is Heather with Twin Flame Blu-ray, and I'm back for another Oracle card reading for what is today, April 9th, 2018. I hope everybody's having a wonderful day. I have had a chance to ground in my fairy garden and spend a lot of time outside today, which I needed. The universe is presenting opportunities for us to see the energies around us. I personally have been pretty isolated here for several weeks, and really being guided to simplify my life and purify the body, mind, spirit, energy, all of that. And yesterday I spent time with my soul family. And quite frankly, they are still looping programs from many years ago. I got nauseous. I did not want to be there at first. I, of course, appreciated the company and took things as they came, but us as twins, as we go through this process, again, I will refer you to Maya Kana. If you don't know Maya's Dream on YouTube, check her out. She has been my guide through this whole process. She said in one of her videos, if you have been able to keep your friends and family, most of them, through this whole process, then bless you, because that's a feat. Early on in my process, I started to get it, but now that I've really come through a lot of the purging and healing, and my energy has shifted so much, I really can't be around people that are looping, and we're just not on the same wavelength anymore. And she did say in my latest reading, people would be cleared out of my energy field a little more gently at this point than in the past, but clearing out nonetheless. So this is to go along with that energy. Again, Mercury retrograde. But the big thing going on in the sky right now is Chiron in the very last 29th degree of Pisces. This is the end of the zodiac. This encompasses all degrees in the zodiac. We are clearing out the final, it's the first time since the 1960s that Chiron is about to go into the first degree of Aries. So for a lot of us, this is the first time in our lifetimes that we've gone through this degree. And the purging, I heard another term, pruning today, deadheading like you do in the garden. I just had to do all of that, and then replanted seeds, and the sprouts are starting to grow. But we're in that deadheading phase of like cutting out things that no longer serve us, no longer fit in our lives, and certainly true from what I've seen in my own life. So let's take a look at the cards and see what is going on. The first one that wants to talk, I love this deck. It is the Flower Therapy, and people might think it's a lighter or a frou-frou deck. Oh, this is really sweet. But I had to have it. I am a fairy, unicorn, mermaid, elemental magic. I've been told by Maya I have Merlin energy in my field. I'm an elemental and earth magic person, and so along with my garden with every herb and flower I can plant, I figured I better get this deck. So it really called to me, and I love this card that came. Here's the back of the cards. I think that's the same as the book. Today's message is Daffodil. And if you can see, share the message of love, and how completely appropriate for twins. This is what we're here to do. If we lose sight of, in all of this energy, what we are here to do, this card is here to remind us. And it says, rivers of love. Sorry, Mercury retrograde, I can't talk. Rivers of love flow within you, and others may benefit from this healing energy. Be mindful of each word that passes your lips. Again, this is so crucial to manifestation right now. what we talked about in the last couple of days is we are sitting in this yang energy, and we can't really push forward. The person that I was listening to this morning that said something about the pruning and deadheading, she's like, you can't expect results right away. Like, you're cutting this stuff away, cutting things out of your life, and then you have to wait for the new growth. When my twin came to visit me the other day, it was, of course, really cool, and it was so symbolic that he was here just as I had planted the seeds in my garden, and I had to tell him the seeds are in there because there were no sprouts at that point, and now everything is starting to sprout a few days later. And so symbolic of what's going on right now with the changes in energy. New seeds are being planted, but the garden isn't like full on yet. Neither are the things in our lives. We're cutting things away. So yeah, this is, in the midst of all that, this is the biggest message that we're here as twins is, if you can't get out there and do like our yang energy wants to do, be the yin, and in any way you can, share the message of love. I'm on YouTube doing my soul's work. Anywhere I go, even if I was hanging out with my soul family, I bring that energy of love full on. And as I've said before, never underestimate the power you have as a twin. All of my life, and some of you may relate to this, I haven't been allowed to stay in one place for very long. My jobs, and they say that, again, this is typical of twins, until you find your life path and purpose, you struggle to find where you fit in and what job you're supposed to be doing. But my energy is so clearing, and I finally got this because I thought, the templates I was born into, I was a failure because I couldn't stay in one job too long, or I thought I just was too restless and got bored. I can only stay in one job for like a year, 2 max that was my top. I'm not meant to stay in one place too long, and my guess is a lot of you aren't necessarily either. I know every twin flame journey is different, but yeah, it was always, I'm a super clearer, and our energy field is so powerful as light workers and as twins that we clear as we go. So just be mindful that you hold a lot of power, and really start thinking about, you own that power, and what that really means to you personally. It's different for each one of us. Okay, so from Wisdom of Avalon, and this is by Colette Baron Reid. The other one was Doreen Virtue. I knew this was going to come out. I saw it earlier. The Water Fairy. And she says she's all about feelings and emotions. And I pulled a clarifier because I knew that was going to come out. And I was like, okay, that's coming out. Serpent, super powerful knowledge and healing. So in this time of being the yin, and also in this time the divine masculine is coming into this, they are being hit with their knowledge of their yin and their feelings and their emotions, and they're having to process big time. We have to be in receptive mode, coming into our yin as divine feminines, which I'm assuming most of you are that are watching, but apply it to either or, whichever message fits you. So they have to focus on healing their emotions and feelings, and we have to focus on being the yin, being that empty vessel, so that when they're ready, and this is happening very quickly for most of the pairs right now, we have to be ready for when they come to us, and be open and healing our own feelings and emotions. And if there's past stuff between you two, if you've met and there were hurt feelings, you've got to learn to let that go, because that person is you. They are shifting and changing dimensionally like we are. They're upping their game. So when they come back to you, be in a space where you can be open and receptive and take this time to really focus on what the serpent means. Super powerful, knowledgeable being in mythology and nature. And you know, it represents again the Kundalini awakening that we go through. You see the serpent on the caduceus symbol for medicine, and that represents the Kundalini rising. Really taking time to think about all the stuff that's awakened in you and changed in you since you met your twin, and being grateful for that. You know, I made it a lot harder on myself in the beginning of this journey because I was so angry, you know, burning off all the templates. And I've heard this from other twins. If you don't know Rob and Angie on Twinfinity, big plug for them. They're sharing their 20-year story, and that's not for all of us. They started way back when. They met a long time ago, and I've gone through a lot of the same processes they have before I met my twin. So we're all at different stages in different stories. So don't think, oh, is it going to be that long? No. I have a quail family walking outside my window. I love it. Desert life is so different than where I grew up in the Midwest, and I adore it. Oh, and this happens a lot. There's just 2 of them right now. I've had 2 deer show up right outside the fence here in my property. I'll have to walk the property and show you guys at some point. I was in my garden. I was pulled to come to the backyard, and I saw 1 deer, and sure enough, a few minutes later, I was standing really still. I saw another one pop its head around, and I was just like, whoa. And I've had all these animal pairings somehow get into our fence 2 by 2. I mean, the twin symbology, well, if you're paying attention, will blow your mind. Anyway, I don't even remember what I was saying. Let me pull another card and maybe I'll remember. Rob and Angie, and they are sharing their story, and I've gone through a lot of this is perfect for twin flames. Here I'm thinking, you know, this is my new channel and doing readings for the collective, and I'm like, what ifs, and keep holding myself back. And I'll just show you the card. It's from the Miracles Now deck, and it said, if I want to feel supported, I must support myself. Biggest thing we talk about coming into union. I'm sorry for all the tangents. Hopefully I'll get back to all of them before the 15-minute mark hits when I have to stop the video. The biggest thing on the twin flame journey is to focus on yourself. And like we said, anytime you feel triggered, bring it back in and say, what did this trigger in me? It's not my twin's fault. As much as, you know, in the beginning, you might want to blame them. It's not their fault. They're just mirroring you. They are you. They're mirroring. And we have to be here to support ourselves. And that's the fastest way to bring them back into union as well. When you come into alignment and are there to support yourself in every way, then you relax your energy. And as my twin just said to me, we were talking about how our energies have changed so much. And I said, yours was through the roof. I had to carry this in my pocket all night after he left, my black tourmaline, because I was literally so lightheaded. My guides had been preparing me for a few days before he came over. I felt like I was going to pass out. They were changing my energy, upgrading it as he's been. And I asked him, I said, well, what did you feel from my energy? And he said, much more calm. And I was like, that was the moment he was able to come back into my space. So hopefully that helps all of you today. I'm going to have to end this because of my 15-minute limit from YouTube at the moment, but sorry for leaving you if I left you on any tangents. I tend to do that. I'll go back and watch and maybe catch it up for tomorrow, but I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.